Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of COBLAB. We are hanging out with a future mad scientist, Braden Nalos.
And we'll be talking about laser cutters, the need for a fourth meal, and how the ball is life.
COBLAB, a hodgepodge of randomness.
Well, hey buddy.
Hey Chester.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy.
Oh, I love to hear when you're doing good.
I think I'm doing good most of the time.
Yeah, you are. You're a really happy person.
I like to be happy. I don't like not being happy. Who likes that?
Well, sometimes I turn into an Eeyore from time to time.
Yeah, you have those days.
I do have those days. I'm not like this all the time.
Well, I'm glad you like that today. Podcast is not as good if you're an Eeyore mode.
No, podcast day is always I'm on my game.
It's a good day
That's how
for a
I do.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
But I do love that you're so energetic. You make for a great co-host and a great co-pastor.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
appreciate
one.
it.
Yeah, I love your face.
Yeah,
Love
you're the
it.
brains, I'm the hype.
I think that's what that's how we market ourselves.
No, I think you have just as much hype, and I like to think I have a little bit of brain.
You're smart. You're very smart.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
formidable.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
a compliment.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Seriously.
The undulating indubitableness of formidability.
Mystery.
Oh my goodness. Some of you guys don't know, Adam and I, we've experienced a lot of the same things together or at different times. Both he and I went to a previous Bible college where we had a professor that would like to say spells. He used really big words that nobody knew what he was saying, but he did it with hand gestures. And I was always like, I think he's putting a spell on us.
Felt good.
Yeah, indubitus.
That's just a word I can't say.
I don't know how to
That's
say
what
it.
I just said.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Undulating.
Mystery. What's that good one? Prevenient.
Yeah, prevenient grace.
Unprevenient
Oh my
grace.
gosh. Dr. Bob, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but I love you. Thank you so much for
Brett, you're
being
the man.
such a good professor to us. If you guys are looking at thinking about going to college, definitely go. It's going to be life-changing for you. Anyway, talking about life-changing, we get to hang out with a very special guest today. I imagine
we
at the
do.
end of this, we are going to be changed for the better.
Indeed.
We get to hang out with the one and the only Braden Nalos. How you doing, Mr. Braden Nalos?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you very much. I'm so stoked that you get to hang out with us today. We got to get together, got a little bit of grub.
Got a little grub.
We always talk about sandwiches on this podcast, and I asked you where you wanted to go, and you're like, Subway.
Gotta get that people sandwich.
I think we're starting to get into people's brains, which is kind of fun.
That's right.
What's up, Subway? Where's our?
I'm waiting on that check.
Yeah.
Or free sandwiches for life. Or
We got coupons today.
We did get coupons. And you know what? I think that's the first step.
Yeah,
Coupons,
right.
we get a check soon.
And a nice smile. It's coming.
And they didn't even charge us for extra cheese.
They didn't. So that's like money.
Steps in the right direction.
Right. What did you get today, Braden?
I got the spicy Italian.
Boom.
Jalapenos, pretty much all the toppings. So
Double
it's
spicy
this
Italian.
massive sandwich.
I watched her. She it was overflowing, and her eyes were like, I don't know how to do this. But they are artistes at Subway, and they know how to fold that thing over to get it in there. I don't know how, but that was amazing. Also, you got jalapenos. You are crazy.
You also ate the whole thing, which I was like, what?
Yeah,
I barely finished my whole sandwich, and
I
you
was
were just like, what up?
crack it up. You ate. You got a foot long.
Yeah, and I ate
you ate the
most
whole-
of it, and there was 3 inches left. And I'm like, I want to save this for later. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, nope, I'm hungry again, and I ate the rest of it.
You're definitely at that stage in your life where you're about to just devour everything. I feel bad for your parents.
The black hole, yeah.
Right, bottomless pit. Are you at that stage where you're eating the same portion of food as your dad?
I eat 4 meals a day technically, because right after dinner, maybe in half an hour later, I have a snack, which is a massive snack where I usually watch TV in my pajamas and this
Like a cheese platter?
No,
like a turkey leg?
Sometimes I have a big plate of nachos. Sometimes I have
Yeah.
a whole this bowl of yogurt with granola, a yogurt parfait, and then sometimes I just have cereal. But the bowl is at least
It's Saturday
It's just-
morning size cereal bowl.
Mhm.
it's bigger. It's like if you've gone for a whole meal without eating type bowl. It's just a massive bowl. I use the biggest bowl I can find.
It's your brunch cereal bowl.
Right.
Yes.
I used to call that caveman. You just the whole box.
I literally
I've had those days.
went through like half a box of cereal. I went from like brand new open to almost. It was just. I ate like 6 bowls of cereal.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I love cereal.
What's your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal. That's hard to decide. I like Kix.
Oh,
Like
Kix
the
is
Corn
good.
Puffs?
Mother approved.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
you
say-
like Corn Puffs too?
Yeah,
Okay.
like the Kix are the corn puffs.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah.
Lovers-
I like Honey Nut Cheerios too.
Yes, that's
Good
really
for your
good.
cholesterol.
Right. He's 12. That heart's a ticking quiet.
You can never start too early.
That's true. That's true. I love it. You are the second middle schooler we got to interview. This is our youth group is COBLAB, and it's so much about everybody coming together. And I love that we get to hang out with the younger portion of our youth group too. You guys are magical in your own right. You're not like 6 foot, tall high schoolers driving around doing crazy stuff, but your lives are still super interesting. You're still doing amazing things. So there's no distinguishing between middle school or high school with us. So thank you for being here. Also, you should really try Life cereal. Cinnamon Life might be.
Oh yes, I have tried that
Yeah,
before, and I love it.
That's fantastic. Not Lucky Charms though.
Yeah,
I
Lucky
hate
Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Meh.
I've really pulled a bowl of Lucky Charms, and like almost all marshmallows came out. Like I'm like, what?
That's a good day.
I feel like that's most kids' dreams.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what dreams are made of.
I don't like the marshmallows though.
You don't? They're like good, like okay, but they're not as good as like the actual good marshmallows that you can buy in the
Yeah, they're not soft. They're hard.
But there's something about those marshmallows that like work with cereal. Like I've tried putting regular like white Jeff Puff, like
Jeff Puff.
Jeff Puff.
Like Jeff Bridges marshmallows?
Yes.
Jeff Puff?
Yes. They've been blessed by
Jeff Bridges.
the dude. Yeah, this just doesn't. It's not the same. There's something about those marshmallows that's magically delicious.
Oh, snap. Braden, talking about magical things and some of the really cool stuff that you guys are up to. Talk to me about what's going on in school right now. You're like well on the way into the school year. You've got your feet underneath you. It's 7th grade,
Yeah.
right? So you're not a little 6th grader anymore. Talk to me about what's going on in school.
So this year has been way different than last year because I go to iTech and like they have.
What is that?
It's STEM school, which is like focused on science, technology, engineering, and math.
Right.
And like the first year you go, it's more like an ordinary, like a normal middle school. But the second year is when they start introducing you to like the technology courses and that type of stuff. So this year has been like awesome.
What's some of the stuff that you're doing, like tech-wise?
So with one class, I have robotics where we build robots out of metal. We cut metal parts, we screw them together, and then like we haven't gotten into programming yet, but we will use motors, and they'll actually be like robots that can move around places with
That's
motors.
amazing.
Are you using like CNC machines to cut out metal?
Well, we have this one machine. I don't know how many machines. We have like a whole room that's like dedicated to power tools, and then like I know we have a laser cutter at our school. I don't know if it can cut metal. I know it can go through like a 1/4 inch thick of wood, and it can like engrave, like carve out stuff. Like it can do the same thing as a CNC machine can do, but with just a laser. And it's like really fun to watch because it's just like it does all sorts of stuff. And then we also have a 3D printer.
Oh, I love a good 3D printer.
So sometimes if we need a part for a project, we would use the 3D printer, like to print out the part that we need. So we actually have 2. One that's the size of a refrigerator, that's the massive 3D printer.
Yeah.
And then we have one that's like a smaller, with the size of a normal printer type one.
One can make like a backpack, and the other one can make like a bracelet. Right? Like a whole version of me made out of 3D plastic. Yeah. I love 3D printers. Those are super, super cool.
Like it's kind of like a hot glue gun, kind of, except for it's just like they melt down plastic and it comes out really like fine.
Right.
Like, and small.
Right. There's 3D printers that use all kinds of materials. There's one I was looking up on YouTube, and it was using concrete, and they were 3D printing buildings.
Ooh.
Which is like super cool. No need for like crazy people building it, because they can build a building like 3 times faster.
Like
than
a
human
normal
can.
size building?
Yeah, like a normal size building.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? I can't wait for like my home to be 3D printed. It'll be Super cool. Earlier when we were over lunch, you were talking about how you guys are designing school stuff for iTech. Yeah, what's that about?
So right now our school is just it's a small school because we don't have much space because we're in the Jim Parsley Community Center.
Well, half of your school's right?
Oh, just the middle school, and then the high school is at WSU. And right now, like we don't have enough. We can only hold 180 kids in the whole middle school. So what we're gonna do is like later on in GTT, which is Gateway to Technology.
It's another class, right?
Yeah, it's another class. This year we're learning architecture stuff, like like kind of learning how to be an architect. And then later in the year, we're gonna design the school that's gonna be the middle school and the high school. The kids last year did this, and I think eventually they're gonna choose one design from a group, because I think there's like 3 groups in a class. I think I don't know, and then like some of the parts on there are 3D printed or laser cut, and like so it's like a exact model of what the school will be like, and you can even like half of it you can see inside and everything, and then they'll choose one, I think, and then that'll be our new middle school and high school, so that'll be fun. Like they'll be like, oh, I'm in the building that I designed.
That's super cool. Like you're doing architect social work already, and you're only in 7th grade. I can only imagine what's really like ahead of you.
Yeah, that's even just listening to you talk about it has been super cool. Like just even having a room with power tools. Like I never went to a school where I had like a shop class or anything like that. And then you're talking about building robots and like designing things, and just at such a young age, it's so encouraging and so cool.
When I was in middle school, I went to middle school here in Vancouver, and there was a middle school called Geyser, and I had a teacher named Mr. Patrick. And he was everything that I wanted to be. He like laid the foundational work for technology classes. There were no such thing as technology classes in Vancouver at that time. He had the first one. And so we had a robotic arm, and we had a wood shop, and we could go through and do all these really cool science projects and lots of computer models. There must have been like 40, 50 computers in his classroom. And it's everything that he dreamed to have a school like you're in now for kids that were interested in forward technology and wanting it. So it's really cool to hear you doing that. When I was in middle school, I was like, man, I wish there was a place like that. And now they have iTech, which they actually have lots of different STEM schools and programs around that specialize in different things.
Yeah, it's growing.
Yeah,
it's really
it's
cool.
super cool that you get to be part of that. They've only been around for like 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
And only one problem is that it's not like you can just like get in. It's like it's lottery based. So usually they have like 120 people applying, and they only choose 60 per grade, since there's 180 kids in the whole school. So like I was like lucky that I got into my school, because lots of people applied. It's like I had my friends that applied. Some of them they didn't get in, but like some of them did get in. Like it was, if you ever do apply to iTech, it's like maybe a little less than 50% chance you'll get in. So,
That's crazy. Gosh. That's amazing that you got in, though. I really hope that
I was really excited.
I bet. I really hope you take that opportunity and really just get everything you can out of that. Talking about tech, you were talking to me about like what you want to do in the future, and you want to be like an engineer or an architect or a designer of some type, right?
I probably want to be someone who maybe works with electricity for sure, or like an electrical engineer, but that could also be into like a category where maybe I program, because I'm really into programming stuff, like with code. So
how many languages do you know?
I'm working on my first one now. It's CC. It's for like the Arduino, which is a little supercomputer. It's like the size of a credit card, and there's so many different like ports on it, and you can plug in different electronics, like an LCD screen or an LED, or there's servo motors. You can pretty much do anything that's like an electronic controlled by a computer. So that's fun.
That's super cool. There's a guy here in Vancouver. We usually talk about like some of the cool stuff that happens here in the city. But there's a guy named David Mador, and he is one of the world's leaders in robotic servos. That's what he creates and builds. And his station's here, which is super cool. This is here in Vancouver. So it'd be really exciting to see like where you grow up. If you start becoming like more into programming and designing or electrical work, you could very well be a person like that, where you have a huge company that becomes just this monstrous thing. I think it's well within your cards to kind of do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I've only learned the basics like LCD screens and LEDs. I haven't learned servo motors yet, but there's lots of different things you can do.
Yeah, and everyone starts out small. Bill Gates started in his garage building the very first Apple computer, or Bill Gates. Steve Jobs. Yeah, Steve Jobs. Sorry, Phyllis. Oh my goodness, I threw my hero underneath the bus there. Steve Jobs is rolling around in his grave right now. Bill Gates got a big smile on his face.
I got him.
Oh my goodness, Steve Jobs started building computers in his garage. And everyone has small beginnings. David Medor, the guy who builds the robotic servers here, he started in his garage too. So yeah, keep building small things, and then it's only going to eventually turn into. Will you design like a robot, like the automata? I want to like drive a robot. Will you please design a robot?
I would need some pretty big motors.
Yeah.
I would need like a big computer chip, but if I learn code, I might be able to make one.
Yes, that's what I want.
But it could maybe hold a minifigure of you, because it'd have to be pretty big and have pretty powerful motors with gear ratios that actually walk and like be in it. That'd be cool though.
I love that you know what you're talking about.
Someday.
Or it can basically be like a big hamster ball that rolls like automatically, but it has a seat in it that always stays upright.
It's happening right now. He's
He's
designing
like,
it
in his head. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, so we're gonna have robot suits by the time you graduate.
Oh, I can't wait for mine. It's gonna happen.
But one of the downsides to your school, we talked about this a little bit over lunch, but there's no sports.
Yeah, there's like no sports. That's one of the downsides. Because like I really like to play sports, and it's kind of sad that like my school doesn't actually have any sports, because there is a way like to play sports, but it's through your home middle school.
Okay.
But another downside is like I don't get home until 5 o'clock because my school starts so late.
Yeah.
It's like I start at 9:35 and get out at 4:05. Then I have like an hour bus ride all the way back home. So it's really
But I know you're a big basketball guy. You love basketball. Every time I see you, you're Nike head to toe. Even your shirt right now has just a basketball hoop on it. Made of basketball players. It's just basketball on basketball on basketball, right?
and it's Nike.
I would like if I had never met you before and I just saw you walking down the street, like I'm pretty sure that kid is sponsored by Nike. Basketball is your jam.
Yeah, I play basketball a lot. Like if I'm stressed, sometimes I'll go out and play basketball. But I haven't been doing it recently because it's too hot over the summer, and it's like I get a headache because it's just so hot. And then like it's been raining lately. But the past couple of days, I've actually have been able to go play basketball.
That's good. Well, what about what's that phrase? Ball is life.
The ball is life.
That means you gotta play basketball always.
Oh, I
Rain,
thought that meant
shine, always.
Like dance ball.
Oh,
Formal ball?
I don't think so.
No? Oh, okay.
Maybe in your world. The ball is life.
The ball is life. Yeah, no, are you... I mean, I think Adam's right. I think the ball is kind of your life. And that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that it was like the way you stress relieve yourself is like playing basketball. Do you guys have a hoop at home?
So there's a hoop on our street that's like... And I don't know who's that. I think it's one of our neighbors. But they like never really use it. And
You just take it, yeah.
And they said that we can use it. And then I also have a friend who like recently installed like a basketball court in his backyard.
Yeah.
And like the hoop can like lower and raise, and so you can like totally do a slam dunk on it. Like it's amazing. And he also has a trampoline like next to it, so you can be like jump on the trampoline and then chuck a ball and it'll like go in sometimes.
That's
Once in a while.
awesome. Yeah, it's like that. It's that YouTube channel. They do stuff like that.
Dude Perfect.
Dude Perfect. Yes, I love this. I mean, you've watched that obviously since you know what's going on. That's super cool. Would you be a basketball player if you could?
Yeah, that'd be like an awesome experience if I could like. It'd be cool like to actually be a basketball player when I grow up.
I feel like it's possible. Your dad's really tall.
Yeah, that's true.
And your mom's tall too.
Yeah, they're both tall for their age.
So you could easily grow to 6+.
It's in your genes. You could probably do it.
Not that you need to be tall to be a basketball player. There's a lot of short basketball players too. Word up to the short people. but it definitely does help your chances of being. You're never going to be short and be a power forward.
No.
Yeah, Damian Lillard couldn't do what he did if he was only 5 foot tall. There's a reason why he's up there. Have you ever been to a basketball game?
I actually have been to a Blazers game, and it was an amazing experience because we were up in like the nosebleeds, just way up high. Like you could, like the players would look like tiny little polka dots.
You're just watching it on the screen
yeah,
anyway.
I literally was just looking at the screen and watching it because like it was you
so
couldn't
small.
see anything really, and literally we were at halftime, my dad and I, because it was just my dad and I think it was my birthday present. We were going down to get concessions. Like, we were in the hallway, and a random person walked up to us and said, "Here, have our tickets." And we're like, "Oh, cool." And we looked at them, and we're like, "Oh, these are down in, like, the 100 section," because there's, like, the 100 section, 200s, and then 300s.
Yeah, they're the good seats.
Yeah, so we're like, "Oh, these are in the good seats." And then, like, we started going down there, and we realized, wait a second, like, these are good seats.
Mm-hmm.
And then we realized, like, we get down to our seats, and we're like, these are the third row. Like we're looking up, and instead of looking way down at the players, you're like looking up at the players since there's like.
Because they're tall.
Yeah, like so. I went from looking straight down at the players almost to looking like up at the. It was crazy and it was awesome.
That's so cool.
It's really fun to be that close, and then you realize how tall they really are.
Uh-huh.
You're just like, oh my gosh, you're a giant. That's awesome. That's like a once in a lifetime like experience.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
Gosh,
amazing.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna hope that happens soon.
I'm just gonna go and just hang out in concessions and hope someone hands me a ticket.
Please, sir. Yeah, no, I think you're gonna have to be as like super awesome as Braden here.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Well, I hope that you keep playing basketball, and then like who knows what's gonna happen out of that. You don't play. So iTech is really small. You said there's like only 180.
Yeah,
kids
in the whole
the middle school. So that means you don't really have sports teams, right?
No.
So how do you play basketball then? Do you play basketball on the team?
No, well, not yet. We're looking for like a league. We're not sure. I might play for Furstenberg because my old league that I play for, it's only up to 7th grade, and like last year it's only up to 6th grade actually.
Yeah, so you just grew out of it.
Yeah, I grew out of it, and now I'm in 7th grade. Now we're looking for one that's 7th grade and up. So hopefully we'll find one. But if I don't get in, I'll probably just play with my friend who has a basketball court in his backyard, or just on the street hoop.
Just keep your skills going good. Street rules. Prison rules.
Yeah, don't play by prison.
Don't play by prison rules. That's how you shank people. It's not really good. No. That's super awesome, man. You were talking about what else do you do for fun? So you don't just play basketball all the time.
What do I do for fun? Sometimes what do I do for fun? When I get home from school, I don't really have much time. I like
Yeah, your day's so busy. It's not like when I was in middle school. You're always doing something.
Usually when I get home, if I have homework, I do that sometimes. But usually I finish it at school. But if I don't have homework, then I usually do my chores and then eat dinner and then...
Second dinner.
Yeah, my my snack before bed, and I usually do that while watching YouTube. Well, I guess maybe watching Rhett and Link on YouTube would be kind of
fun. Yeah, you and I have definitely talked about Rhett and Link a lot.
Yeah.
Do you like Rhett more or do you like Link more?
I don't know. Like, they're both really funny. Like, when you're watching Good Mythical Morning, it's just almost every I've never had a video where I haven't laughed.
Do you consider yourself a good mythical beast?
Is that what they call their fans?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Good morning, good mythical beasts. It's a great, good mythical morning.
I've never paid attention to that.
I've watched a lot
the
of
show.
Yeah.
A lot of.
I don't know. I don't watch them.
I'm a Link fan. I love Link. Rhett is real cool, but I'm leaning a little more towards Link.
I remember when they started their videos. It was this I remember I was watching them, and I clicked on one of their videos, and I realized this is not like them, and I realized, oh, this video was from a long time ago. And they've
been doing it for like 5 years.
Their background was just like all blue, and it was just they have a microphone.
Yep.
And there was lots of airs. Like, it wasn't as good, but like now they've turned it really good.
Very polished. Yeah, they're professional YouTubers. They have millions of subscribers.
They just hit like 10 million in this past couple months, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now they're at 11 million, I think.
They're impressive, and I love YouTube. I love watching that. Do you watch anybody else on YouTube?
I like this YouTuber called Grant Thompson King Random. He does this like random projects and stuff like that. Like
build projects?
Yeah, that's another thing I like. They like build stuff, whether it's out of wood, out of cardboard, pretty much anything that I can find that could be turned into something I'd like to make.
I've heard that you've made like complex machines out of cardboard.
Oh yeah, when I was maybe 2 years ago, I made this arcade claw game, and it had like the coin slot had like 2 pieces of tin foil on it, like that weren't touching, and it had like electricity in them. Like, so when you put in the coin, it would complete the circuit, and it would turn on like these little like lights that would like go, and then you would like it had a paperclip claw, and you would pick up pieces of candy and stuff like that.
Get out of here!
What am I doing with my life? Oh goodness!
That's so. How do you even like? How did you get that in your mind that you wanted to build something like that?
How did I? I just remember I was bored and I saw this box and I'm like, that kind of looks like a claw game, and I'm like, I could actually make that into a claw game.
Do you play video games?
No, not really. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
You got more time to build things. Yeah.
That's so
actually,
cool.
I recently was last summer, or maybe actually it was last October. It was like it seemed like last summer, but it was actually so long ago. My grandpa and I, we went into the garage when he was visiting from Iowa, and we built a wooden pinball machine. Like, we found some scrap pieces of wood, we cut them, and like with hand saws and everything. And it was like we cut it, and then like we assembled it, and it was all made out of wood. And it was a pinball machine where you push the side buttons so the flippers would like move up and down. And, like, it was really cool. But the hardest part was the flippers moving up and down, because that was the hard mechanism.
Yeah. I'm calling it now. You're gonna be a world changer for sure.
I know. Whatever
And there was
company
no
you build, I'm
electric
going
socks.
to invest in immediately.
Yeah.
Just can't wait for my stock to start quadrupling.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
awesome.
Braden, you are fantastic. I love that you're like, you're all about that. And I'm sure your family's super supportive of that kind of stuff too, right?
Yeah, the one thing that I would say is that we don't have any electric tools because we don't like do enough like woodworking projects or anything like that we actually have anything. So the downside is I don't do that much because it's kind of hard like to cut stuff like curved wood cuts with a handsaw.
Yeah.
But now that I have access to a laser cutter this year, I could like go into the school and be like, I want this cut to this, and then the laser cutter would do it perfectly.
He has access
To
to
a
a laser
laser.
cutter. 7th grade, man. Who knew? This is a good year.
Times they are changing.
Well done. Well done, laser people. You sold your product well. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Well, Braden, our time is running short. I love that you got to be on this podcast with us and share your heart. I'm really excited to see the kind of person that you're going to be growing into. This youth group is really going to benefit from who you are and that kind of stuff. And I know that I benefit from hanging out with you all the time, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, I love that you always roll up in just a car full of like other middle schoolers and you just all pile out. I'm like, yeah, there they are.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of you guys that are you're like the heart of the youth group. Your attitudes and your energy is just so large.
Positive.
I love seeing people like you or like Cole or Elijah or Reese or like you guys are just like there's so many of our middle school boys that are just unreal, and I'm really appreciative that you guys are here hanging out with us. Did we do people sandwich? Did you shit?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the sandwich you got today. That's your choice
Yep,
of
I
sandwich.
always get that every time I go to Subway.
Italian. I'm gonna give it to you. It's not exact,
I'm
but
taking it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
No.
Have you tried the spicy Italian?
I have tried the spicy Italian. It's good.
It's great.
It's good,
It's
but I like a
phenomenal.
meatball sub. It's
You and James, that's it.
what's 2-3. We got.
I'm pretty sure it's 2-4,
It's-
but I'm gonna give you 2-3.
All right, listeners, if you're listening, go back and find out who's winning. Put it in the comments. We'll find out what's going on. I'm probably gonna have to listen to it tonight just to make sure too.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna close up this edition of COBLAB. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.